1986, Konami released Moero TwinBee Cinnamon Hakase wo Sakue, otherwise known as Stinger, in North America. And the North American version was released 1 year later in 1987. I remember this game very well, and I remember it was a blast to play. Let's see if that's still the case. Now this game is a 1 or 2 player game, and the 2 player game mode is cooperative, which means both players play at the same time on the same screen. And in the Japanese Famicom Disk System version, it's actually cooperative 3-player modes, which allows 3 players to play at the same time. But they didn't do that for the North American version. Yeah, I don't quite understand the storyline in this game, but that doesn't really matter, because this game is f***ing awesome. Now, as you can see, this game is a scrolling shooter, but the interesting thing about Stinger is that it alternates every other board between vertical and horizontal scrolling. So it's a very unique game that way. Now, the gameplay breaks down like this. You control your little spaceship with the D-pad. Your A button is to shoot, and you shoot forward, and at the same time you drop a bomb down at a downward arc. And your B button controls these little hearts that pop up above your ship, straight up and down. Those hearts don't affect enemies, but you can use them to bounce those bells around. And the bells are actually power-ups. If you get them when they're just yellow, they're just points. But if you get them when they change colors, they're different power-ups. And to get them to change colors, you just shoot them. So it's a very nice added twist to the power-up system for a shooter. It involves a lot of skill to juggle a couple of different bells around and kill enemies at the same time without losing your power-ups or getting them at the right time. It's a very challenging game, and it is a blast to play. It's absolutely wonderful. Now this game was part of a series. This is number 2 in the series. And the series was known as the TwinBee series in Japan. I don't know why they changed the name from TwinBee, but they did. They changed it to, the first game in the series was called Rainbow Bell in North America, and it didn't sell very well at all. And consequently, neither did Stinger. It wasn't a very popular game, and God knows why. Because I think it's one of the best scrolling shooters ever made. Despite its cutesy appearance, it's a very challenging game. This game, however, in Japan was extremely popular, and it sold very well, and the series went on to make maybe 6 or 7 more games, I think, something like that. And it was available on the MSX system for computers, so our friends in Europe are probably familiar with this game series also. I'm not sure if it was under the Stinger Rainbow Bell titles in Europe, or if it was the TwinBee titles in Europe. But call it what you will, this game is nothing short of fucking amazing. Now, I was never a really big fan of the scrolling shooter genre, but this game just, for some reason, plays wonderfully. It appeals to people like me who aren't even huge fans of the entire genre. Now, like most games of this type, this stage ends in a end boss, and you have to fight this gigantic, overpowered end boss to progress to the next stage. And keeping true with the theme here, the end bosses are all kind of like really cutesy items, like this first one coming up here. If you're prone to seizures, I'd ask you to look away, please, before you actually get to the end boss, because the screen flashes pretty good. But the end boss is a giant slice of watermelon, who I happen to kill, like, instantly. I don't know how I did that, but I don't know. I did play this game prior to recording this, and it actually took me a little bit to beat the end boss. But this time around, I killed him no problem. Now you can see on stage 2, we alternate to the top-down vertical shooter, and the button functionality changes a bit. Instead of your B button working those hearts that pop up above your ship to help you balance the bells, they switch to a a targeting reticle where you can drop bombs on the ground. So it's an interesting twist on gameplay functionality. Now, I'm always a fan of Konami games. I thought they were great game makers, and they really outdid themselves with many different types of games and even different genres. They even dabbled in sports games, but their strong suit seemed to be these scrolling shooters. And up until this point, I was among the camp that thought Gradius was the best scrolling shooter ever. And I after playing this game again, I've changed my mind. I'm a huge fan now of Stinger, or the TwinBee series. I'm going to have to pick up a couple of copies of the other ones released for the Famicom and give them a try. So I've never had a chance to even see those. So if you see Stinger for sale, definitely pick it up. It's a fantastic game. I'm Dommy from Classic Games Revisited. Until next time.